The natural rate hypothesis, an economic theory designed by Milton Friedman, was a joint hypothesis where he joined the natural rate of unemployment independent of monetary policy and the hypothesis that monetary policy could not sustain the natural rate of unemployment without increases in inflation. From this hypothesis, Friedman was able to show that there was a temporary trade-off rather than a permanent one. On the independence hypothesis, persistence versus permanence. With regard to persistence, monetary policy effects are likely to be persistent rather than permanent, with the main idea being size and persistence of monetary policy on potential output. This persistence would happen with the effects of monetary policy, respectively increasing or decreasing prices and wages, and thus increasing output to its highest long-term potential. Cristiano, Ahmedbaum, and Trabant 2016 produced a model which shows the behavior of actual and potential output, as well as the natural rate of unemployment. For simplicity, the natural rate of unemployment is a level at which the economy is producing full employment output. If the natural rate of unemployment goes below the full employment amount, then inflation will begin to increase. The model shows an economy that has gone through a recession, and as a result, the central bank has decreased the interest rate, as dictated by expansionary monetary policy. Actual output and potential output follow a similar trend, with potential output decreasing significantly less than that of actual output. The model shows that even if monetary policy is reversed, the effects of the recession would not be entirely reversed, thus displaying a persistence in the effects of monetary policy. With regards to permanence, permanence implied in the effect of monetary policy refers to changes in the factors of production, leading to a permanent change in output as a result of an economic shock, leading to a permanent change that is different than that had the shock had not occurred. However, some studies disagree with the permanence theory and suggest instead a persistent effect. They disagree as they state some of these permanent changes would have occurred regardless, such as unemployed people reaching retirement age before gaining employment again. Macro evidence on the independence hypothesis. There are 4 ways to identify monetary policy shocks. These are monetary policy itself, recessions, output, and unemployment. With regards to monetary policy itself, through methodologies such as vector order regression, the effects of monetary policy shocks on output or unemployment can be traced over a time horizon. However, this method is not very promising. With regards to recessions, by looking at recessions, strictly those associated with intentional disinflations, is a more promising approach to identifying monetary policy shocks. These types of shocks can be easily identified due to their size and external factor. These reflect changes in monetary policy rather than responses. Output. In order to identify monetary policy shocks using output, a log linear trend for output is used to see if pre-recession levels of output return are an intentional disinflation triggers a recession. The log linear trend is done for output over a time horizon to the recession and is used to estimate what the output would have looked like in the period after the recession had it not occurred. In most cases, however, the model overpredicts the post-recession output, as it does not take into consideration continual decline in growth, primarily amongst advanced countries. With regards to unemployment, similar to before, pre-recession and post-recession figures are taken for intentional disinflation triggered recessions, and the result is high and persistent unemployment throughout the time interval. A look at several oil-related and financial-related recessions indicates that most recessions are associated with a positive unemployment gap. Microevidence on the independence hypothesis. Macroeconomic evidence related to the independence hypothesis indicates that either employment or productivity are the causes of persistent effects of monetary shocks. With regards to unemployment, Blanchard and Summers 1968 focused on wage formation. Within the labour market, wages are formed by interactions and bargaining between the employed workers and by firms. The higher the unemployment rate, the less bargaining power for lower wages. The Diamond, Mortenton, and Pisaro's DMP model highlighted that in countries with strong employment protection and benefits, they were generally associated with high firing and high hiring costs. As a result, firms were less incentivized to replace employed workers for cheaper unemployed workers, leading to a highly persistent effect of monetary policy shocks on the natural rate of unemployment. With regards to productivity, a recession may affect total factor productivity by a decrease in research and development and as a result, the speed of adoption of inventions. Tokyo, Common, Gertler, and Martens 2016 showed that during times of low economic activity, less inventions were adopted, leading to a slowdown in productivity growth. However, this was only a temporary slowdown, emphasizing that this was a persistence on the effects of a recession rather than a permanence.